Hello my beautiful friend and welcome back to another daily video. So today is going to be short and sweet and something, well at least for me, really positive. Let's dive in. As you can see, this is an article by Automaton written by Dorde P? I'm sorry, I don't know how to pronounce your name. And as always, you will find this article in the description box down below. So we have Neon Genesis Evangelion director Hideaki Anno doesn't believe creating for the global market is the way to go. Yes! The man! I'm sorry, but the audience will have to be the one to adapt. In a recent interview, Neon Genesis Evangelion director Hideaki Anno shared his impression of the Japanese content industry going global. This is something that we are already seeing in other media as well, and obviously I'm talking about video games. We see this shift in Square, so Square Enix with Final Fantasy and everything, where Western studios are being abandoned and dismantled. We see this with Capcom, where they're just focusing on, well, everything Japanese. And we also starting to see this with Sony, when they are already while they are already abandoning Western studios for, well, stuff like Ghost of Yotei, the Heretic Saint, whatever. No, not Heretic Saint. I'm sorry. I immediately went back to Warhammer. I didn't mean that one. What's the name of this stupid game? The one from Neil Druckmann with the ugly chick, with the bald one, the Heretic Prophet or something like that. Doesn't really matter. The one game why Naughty Dog's devs now have to do crunch. They have to do overtime, mandatory, which is terrible, by the way. But it's telling us a lot, but we already talked about that a couple of weeks ago. The Japanese content industry has been steadily going global over the past few years, and with increasing government support and a fleshed out expansion strategy, it is estimated to reach a market size of 20 trillion yen by 2033. Recently, Neon Genesis Evangelion director Hideaki Anno sat down with Forbes Japan to talk about the changes that this has brought to the industry as it further expands into overseas markets. Into the overseas market. I'm sorry. When asked how these changes are impacting the way Japanese content is made and distributed, Arno remarked that anime and film studios haven't made any conscious changes in the past years, even though the environment itself has slightly changed. I personally never made anything with the overseas audience in mind. I can only make domestic stuff. Production companies are quick to say, think about the overseas market, but personally, that's not my goal, he explained. And this is why I include you now as well, I'm sorry. Why we love anime, why we love games like Nier Automata, why we love games like Final Fantasy, and is so much more. I mean, in animes, I don't want to talk about One Punch Man. This makes me sad. But right now I started watching My Hero Academia again because I stopped at season 4 back in the day when it was fresh. Because I don't even remember why. Because I really do like the anime. And now that it's done, I'm already at season 3 again. So yeah, I love that so much. And there are other stuffs. Also, I mean, I do have a Goku here hanging on my microphone and so on. Please never do animes, mangas, or whatever, games for the global audience. No, this is not why I love Japanese media. But yeah, my stance is simply, it first needs to be a work that will be well received and found interesting in Japan. But if by any chance people overseas also found it interesting, I'd be grateful for that. Absolutely based. Anno mentions that working on Evangelion 3.0 plus 1.0 Thrice Upon a Time, he wasn't considering the overseas market at all. Apparently, he decided to produce the film independently because it meant no one else could interfere, and he was ready to take full responsibility for it regardless of how well it performed financially. Also based. The first time I watched Evangelion 3.0 plus 1.0 Thrice Upon a Time, I really did not like it until I found out that all of this movie series basically is also a work of art that includes, well, the Japanese people as well, how they reacted to the original series and the movies after that one. And this is how the new characters were shaped for the trilogy of movies. After that, it became way better for me. Ano explains that making a film for a non-Japanese audience comes with some considerable difficulties, especially the language barrier. Works that are made through a Japanese thought process can only be understood in Japanese. Absolutely makes sense. Film has both visual and sound elements, so compared to other forms of storytelling, the language barrier is not that. However, lines in the script are still in Japanese, and the drama is achieved through the thought and feelings the characters experience in Japanese. The Evangelion director remarks that such works can be well received overseas as well, given that the audience understands the intentions and nuances of the narrative expressed in Japanese. I mean, Ghibli movies. Goddamn, how many people do love Ghibli movies, me included. Those were not made with the overseas market in mind. I'm sorry, but the audience will have to be the one to adapt, he added. Compared to video games, which are interactive media, film is a one-way road, Arno explains. Even if the audience complains, that doesn't necessarily mean that the complaints are reaching the creators. Film isn't a medium that accommodates its contents for the viewer. That's why the audience has to trust the creators is in what is interesting. And that's why I think it's completely fine to keep production domestic, he says. Even a Ghibli, there it is. And Hayao Miyazaki stick to domestic production, and I'm sure that they don't even think about the overseas market. This is also the other Miyazaki with King's Quest, then Demon Souls, and then Dark Souls and so on. Those were also not made with overseas market in mind at first. I don't know how they changed it up with Elden Ring and Bloodborne. As Arno suggests, overseas promotion can come later, and that's not something creators should be concerned about. We should let the business people turn our works into products and sell them. That's the best course of action, he says. But a part of why Japanese works haven't been able to make it to the West until now is because we were kind of bad at selling them, the Evangelion director remarks. Yeah, that's kind of true. But yeah, really, really based. I do love this, and I stand absolutely behind him with that one. Also, something that I'm. Oh, what is happening right now? I was working on my 3D printer. Just a quick side note. For 7 months, I was arguing with Bamboo that something is wrong with my printer. Finally, after 7 months of writing back and forth, after troubleshooting, after going in circles, I got a replacement extruder part. Now I cleaned everything. I relubricated every rod and lead screw and everything. I I did the works over the last couple of days. I don't think I missed anything. I tightened the belts, again, cleaned and lubricated the X, Y, and Z axis, everything. I cleaned the heat beds, I cleaned. There was so much. I took apart the tool head, checked everything. Now it's recalibrating completely from zero to hero. Hopefully, I believe in a late Christmas miracle right now. The nozzles are completely fresh. After that one, I'm going to put in the... What's the name of that one? With the checkboxes, basically. I forgot the name. The other calibration thingy. I'm also going to do that, and then I have a Banshee printed. This is a Banshee that I printed before doing all of this. It looks fine. But yeah, I'm sorry. I'm just so happy. It was such a long time, and I hope that it really was the extruder with the problem. But yeah, we can talk about this later in the stream. Today we are going to end really today the Separate Ways DLC for Resident Evil 4, the remake. I thought we were going to end it yesterday, but I was being an idiot. I can admit when I'm wrong. So yeah, I was, again, being stupid. We're going to end it today. But yeah, what are your thoughts on all of this? Please leave your thoughts and questions in the comment section down below. I am keen to know what you have to say. And while you're here, please remember to do all the things that make the dings. Why? Because that way we can build a bigger community and talk more video game news every day. And yeah, by extent, this is still video game news, at least for me. Have a great day, my friend. Stay fantastic, stay hydrated, and I will see you hopefully later in the stream or tomorrow with the next video. Bye, bye, bye.